Namaskar. Greetings, folks. It is Saturday, the 22nd of March 2025, and it is time for my weekly analysis and outlook of a few select stocks for the next week. Today, I'm going to look at Ithaca Energy, Adobe, and Accenture. But before I do that, a quick word of statutory disclaimer. The information being shared in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be construed as an investment advice. Individuals are encouraged to do their own research and assume full responsibility of any actions taken based on the suggestions provided. Let's get straight into the charts. The first chart I look at is Ithaca Energy. Ithaca Energy is a UK based energy company. For those who are not familiar with the company, a quick description. It is engaged in exploration and development of production of oil and gas in Northern Sea. And according to this readout, it has got probable 5.6 million barrels of oil reserves. Also, what attracts me is a very competitive P/E ratio of 16.08 for an energy company and a very high dividend yield of 23.6. When you take a close look at the chart, from about October of 24 until the end of 24, this stock was in a downtrend. Let me draw a trend line to show you that. This trend was broken early in January. I think it was on the 6th of January when this was broken. The trend was broken, and also this neckline. If we squeeze the chart a little bit, you'll see a pattern here. You can either treat it as a triple bottom or maybe an inverted head and shoulder. So this being head and this being shoulder one, left shoulder, right shoulder, and head, or just a triple bottom. So downtrend, triple bottom, and this neckline was broken. So that says to me that it is a good stock to start a position in. And that is what I did. I started with a small position. I can also see that the price is now making an uptrend, starting with the lowest point here, a swing high, a swing low, but higher low than the lowest one, a swing high, higher high, back, and now it is pushing back up again. So my plan is to add to this position as and when I get an opportunity close to this trend line. I'll also keep an eye on the RSI as long as it keeps pointing upward and or in excess of 50, and it gives me an opportunity to add. I'll continue to consolidate my position. I'll keep it for long term because the dividend yield is pretty good, and the PE ratio is really attractive for this. So it is not something that I will sell in a hurry. But of course, like with any stock, if it does really well, then I would like to also think of some points to take profit as it goes along. First point that I will consider taking profits at will be in this region here. So 185 region. 185, between 180 and 185, but it is still a long way away. Till then, I'll just continue adding to my position as and when I get opportunities close to this rising trend line. If the rising trend line breaks, then obviously I'll review it again. But as long as it doesn't, I'll keep adding. So that is Ithaca Energy. Next, we take a look at Adobe. Adobe has been in a serious downward trend from the highs of close to 600, and the stock is now trading at 387. When I look at the financials, the PE ratio is 25 at the moment, and also an EPS in excess of $12. That makes it really, really attractive, and I want to keep a close eye on this to start a position. If you look at the chart, the price is in a downward channel. So as you can see, from March of last year or almost February of last year, it has been in a downward channel. And currently, the price is at the bottom of the channel. So usually, one should not start investing in a stock that is on a downward trend, because you never know when it'll bottom out. But because of the financials being very attractive, and also the fact that it is at the bottom of the channel, and this time around the RSI seems to be heading up whilst the price is still close to the lowest number. So what I will be looking at in the next week is, if the price makes another low here, which is either equal to or lower than the previous low, but the RSI doesn't go below the previous low here, that to me will indicate a bullish divergence. And that is when I will start a position here very close to the bottom of the channel. Even if it remains in a downtrend, if the the price does the usual swings within the channel, I will get an opportunity to make some profits out of it. But we can cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, I will just keep a close eye on how the price action behaves in the first few days of the next week when market opens. So that is Adobe. Last but not the least, let's look at Accenture. Now, this is a weekly chart of Accenture, and as you can see, over a longish period of time, it has done really well. But in the last couple of years, it has just done a sideways movement. Now, if I go to my favorite time frame, which is the daily time frame in which I trade, on the daily time frame, you can see here that a rising trend was broken recently. This was end of February timeframe, and since then it has done quite a steep fall. If I look at the financials are not bad. It is still turning over $11.5 per share. PE ratio is very attractive, under 25, and it is also paying a little bit of dividend, just under 2%. So this steep fall is probably an overreaction due to some of the recent announcements coming from the US government about scaling down the expenditure on large firms. For me, this steep fall makes it an attractive buy. But let us look at some of the other technical parameters. So if you look at the RSI is already in oversold territory. It is currently at 24.25. But if you let's expand this, and you see the RSI corresponding to this low here. So let me just join these two lows here, this low to this low, and the corresponding RSI. So the RSI corresponding to this low here was at 19.82. It made a further low on the price, but the RSI has made a shallower low, and it is now starting to look up. So this is a classic case of bullish divergence here. As you can see, price making lower low, RSI making higher low. So this is a clear case of bullish divergence. I guess I will still wait for the RSI to get into a territory above just 30, but this is already in buying zone as far as I'm concerned, and I would like to start a position in this. The first point of potential profit taking will be aligned with this area which was broken here. So the price currently is around 304, and that area will be around 345. But again, this is a stock I would like to keep for long term, but I'm just pointing this as a potential area where, if it continues to go up like this, it will pause and maybe then start forming a trend going up that way. So summing up Accenture, it has had a steep fall, and looking at the financials, the current price seems like a good value. It is on the price versus RSI, it is demonstrating a bullish divergence. So I am keen to take a position on this. With that, I conclude my analysis for this week. Hope you find it useful. If you like the contents of this channel, please like and subscribe, and also share it with anyone else who you think might benefit from the contents. Thank you. Namaskar. See you soon.